Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Taskmaster's Ultimate Admiral Dreadnought. Every Tuesday, I and a couple of other YouTubers go up against each other in design challenges. So, let's see what we've got in store for this week, but let's also revisit briefly what happened last episode. So last episode was a bit of a time traveling challenge where we had a funny thing where the smaller our ship, the more tech advantage we had over the enemy fleet, and we could get a couple of points. Now, let's start with the biggest ship. I think Spartan Elite 43. He did build a battleship, 20-inch guns, and he was doing quite well. He ended up 39 seconds into the 20-minute window that he got to score his points. So that was great. He did also win the battle, so that scored him 2 points, and that's of course very nice. Brother Monroe, honestly, very similar concept. He also went in hard and came in with, I think, 11-inch guns, heavy cruiser, coming in, trying to kill everyone within that 20-minute time frame. He did so quite nicely and did end up, I think, with 4 minutes to spare. On the other hand, he was damaged a little bit, so also 2 points for him. We, on the other hand, did try a bit of a different approach where we picked long-range torpedoes and tried to stalk the enemy fleet, and that worked out relatively well. We did sink almost all of their ships without them spotting us even, with one exception, and that was one of their light cruisers, which did manage to land a hit on us. If that hadn't happened, if it wasn't that lucky in avoiding our torpedoes, we would have scored 4 points. This way we only scored 2. Last one in the bunch, Stealth 17. He was not so lucky. He did try out to destroy us at the smallest ship, and he was successful in avoiding the enemy, but he did not manage to sink the enemy fleet. So ultimately he had to withdraw and scored 0 points. So that leaves us at a 3-weight tier for first place, actually, with 2 points each for Brother Monroe, Spartan Lead 43, myself, and 0 points for Stealth 17. Now, let's see how that is going to turn out this week. We have a very funny battle here. So, we are going to go up against the Empire of Japan. It's going to be 1940. We're going to have a single battleship here. And we're going to start at a huge distance of 40,000 meters. The enemy will have 2 battleships, a battle cruiser, a light cruiser, and 3 destroyers. So, incredibly heavy odds here, stacked up pretty high against us. And the AI has gotten so much better in designing these ships. So, I'm kind of afraid what's going to happen here. It's our choice which nation we can play, but I do think I actually do want to play as the Germans, because they have one of the nicest battleship hulls that at least I know of in the game. It's one of the largest ones, and that will come in handy, because let's talk about the win conditions here. We can score 5 points. There's going to be 1 point each for the following. If we design a ship with 52 main guns, that's a lot of main guns. I don't think I've ever placed that many on a ship. That's the maximum you can in fact place on them, and that's with quadruple guns, 7 on the centerline and 6 wing turrets. That's going to be kind of difficult. I don't know whether it's going to be viable. Let's set this up while we're doing that. We are also going to get a point for a ship that can go 35 knots at 100% engine efficiency. We're going to get a point for winning the battle. We're going to get another point for winning the battle at 50% structural integrity remaining. And we can get a point if we sink 1 enemy ship due to excessive fire. By the way, notice just how big this ship is here. It's larger than the dock, actually, so I always find that kind of funny when that happens. But yeah, here we go. So let's start out trying to fulfill these things. We do want to get a speed of 35 knots, I guess. We don't need the range, but I think we do want to have some bulkheads here. The Gneisenau, that's a good name. We're going to use oil, we're going to use auxiliaries and shafts here. I do think we want to go with diesel. It's probably the better choice, right? So diesel, that's leaving us at how much engine efficiency? Well, 0 for now. Let's actually check. So that's 33%. So we need 3 of these guys. Ah, look at that. We're exactly not at 100% engine efficiency. I don't want to use another funnel though. What we could potentially do is just dial down on the tonnage. Yeah, okay. That would work. Right, so how would that look for geared turbines then? If we go induced... So, sorry, actually I do need to check the weight here. So that's 758, and if we go for geared turbines 2, what could we get here? That's a lot more. That's a lot more. How about if we go to forced and remove one of these funnels? Yeah, no, it's still going to be much better if we go with diesel-based engines, I think. Right, so that's going to be okay. We're going to need 3 funnels after all. We're going to go for crop 4. We're going to go with all or nothing. I do want any flooding 1. Probably want at least reinforced bulkheads here. Okay, let's see. So that would give us already 1 point here as such. How big are these things? Pretty much the same size. So let's pick the more modern one. You're actually kind of small. Yeah, you seem to be kind of very small. Well, I mean, you do have a barbette here, which you don't. Well, the barbette might be useful if we're going to try to place in that many guns. Right, we also need space for a funnel. Do we have space for a funnel in here? It does not look like that. We need 3 funnels. Okay. I think the last one here said with funnel. Yeah, so we're going to use that. I think it's going to be the better choice here. Right, and then we can either... Let's place them like such for now. It looks funny. Well, right, let's talk about guns. So, can we get to the 52 gun requirement here? We do need quadruple turrets, so we would need to start at 14 inches. Now, I tend to like my guns large, but I think at that size, or with that many, we probably can't use that weighty things. Maybe we can do 15-inch guns. You'd be at 0.7 at 25,000 meters. You are much more accurate. You are much more accurate than the 14-inch guns. Okay, let's try to pick 15-inch guns. I'm going to place one here right in the front. We need 7 on the center line. 7 turrets on the center line. That's going to be massive. Wow. I didn't even know that was a thing, but let's check whether we can. We can place you up here, but you would not be able to shoot forward. I think we need a larger barbette then. Maybe the medium superimposed Mark II? Can you? Yeah, that does work. Okay, that's only 3 turrets though. This is gonna be a tough one. Now, honestly, I'm not entirely sure whether it's a good idea to try to fulfill that. It does make it a lot less likely that we're going to be able to fulfill some of the other requirements. And I'm not convinced that that is going to be the way to go. I mean, ultimately, to me it seems like... Okay, we probably... Well... It's all a bit tight, isn't it? Can we even get... Can we physically fit 7 guns in here with that, with this funnel? I'm not sure we can. Well, what we can potentially, yeah. Okay, we can place a turret here, but it would only be able to fire it off to one side, and actually that would impede you. Okay, if we place it over here. Yeah, that worked. It's really awkward though. Really awkward. I dislike this ship already. This is ridiculous. This is not a good ship at all. Okay, and we do need some side guns as well. I think that's 6 of them. Which probably at least do fit in here a little bit better. If we can in fact place them in these little things here, we can. Look at it. It's awful. It's so awful. Jesus. Okay, let's do pick super heavy shells. I do think we could try to go for Lyddite for the higher shell fire chance, but I think high power TNT is going to save a little bit of weight, and that's probably going to be a good thing. Yeah, we only have 5,000 tons left here. That's not good at all. We don't have any torpedo protection. We don't have any secondaries at this moment. We do need some secondaries, and I think I want at least some torpedoes would be nice. I think we can go for standard. These guys are not going to be there to really do a lot of damage against the enemy, but they're going to be there to drive off any attempts by torpedo boats or so. We're just going to launch them and hope that they're going to turn away from us at that point. Can I place 6-inch guns on here? No. I think I can place 5-inch guns there, right? Yeah. Right, that does fit. Maybe some 3-inch guns here, like in the superstructure. Yeah, looks like that. Anyone else? No. It's a very, very low secondary armament here, but I'm guessing that will need to be fine. Right, oh, we haven't even picked this here. So we definitely do, of course, need some gunnery buffs here. Probably do need this, and we are already overweight. Jesus, yeah, it's all of these guns that are driving that. That's not nice. I mean, actually, the balance here is kind of alright. So I think what we need to do then is try to make this into sort of a shot. We do have the speed to close in with the enemy, so maybe we can go ahead here and actually... Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Okay, so, well, conning tower does need to be better armored. Turrets need to be better armored. They would blow up in our faces otherwise. We're not that far away though, only 1,000 tons or so. Maybe 27.5? And let's call that 18.5. Extended belt armor. That doesn't look too bad, honestly. That's an okay armor scheme. The deck armor is really low, and we are starting at a huge distance. But I think I am kind of happy with that. We've got the auto reloading. We should be able to output a lot of damage here. It's a ridiculous ship. It's like I'm gonna have to do a screenshot of this right here. It's ridiculous. We should go with barbettes. I know we don't really have the weight to spare. Right, so let's just stall up here a little bit on the conning tower. It's always good if that doesn't fall. Right, that doesn't work at all. That doesn't work. Neither does that. Okay, you know what? Fine. Maybe at least we can go for increased. No. All right, fine. Good. Let's launch it. I don't know what's gonna happen here. So, 2 enemy battleships, 1 battle cruiser, 1 light cruiser, and a couple of destroyers. Now, here's the thing. If we focus on the battleships, that has worked for us in the past, but it does mean that once the battleships are gone, all of the small ships do come at you very aggressively. And that has cost us victory at one point because we did run into some torpedoes. That was sometime in the last season. So I don't want a repeat of that. And I actually remember that Spartan Elite 43, what he did is he was actually in the same run. He actually focus fired first onto the enemy smaller ships, onto the destroyers and onto the light cruisers, and he did take them out before, and only then he closed in with the battleships. Now that's going to be tough because our deck armor will not allow that to happen. Right, so what have we got here from the Japanese? That looks like at least 5 turrets on the battleship here, which is a relatively small battleship compared to the Gneisenau though. So I am led to believe that that is probably maybe not that large a caliber. Well, at least that's what I'm hoping. Can't really tell much on the larger ships, so let's see. So they're to the north, as they usually are. We got to remember that we have got a couple of turrets, that one and that one, which can only fire off to one side. And I find that to be so hilarious, actually. Alright, let's turn off our torpedoes here. Let's do follow you. Let's get a view of Gneisenau here. Right, and let's see what the enemy has. We don't know yet. We haven't spotted them at all. It is morning. There are a lot of debuffs to accuracy. That's not good. That's not in our favor. Because we know that the enemy does have probably at least quite a couple of torpedoes, whereas we are mostly going to be relying on guns. So our accuracy is going to be impacted more than theirs is going to be. Right, here's the good news though. They are traveling to the left, and so are we, of course. Just take a moment here to admire this ship. Just look at how much they are stacking that. It's just like gun, 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 gun. It's almost like Spartan Elite 43 had built that. So much forward-facing firepower. So let's actually check what they've got. You can see that here on the left. You can actually read what caliber the enemy ships have, and they have got 5 double 14-inch turrets. So 3 in the back here, all of them super firing, it looks like, and 2 in the front super firing. So broadside of 10 guns, and they're going to be rapid firing. Couple of 8-inch, all of the rest is kind of not that important. That's interesting. So how many guns is actually our broadside? I actually need to count that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 40 guns that can be trained to either side. Right, let's actually start out here. So we've got 40, they've got 10, so we've got a much larger broadside. They can of course fire more often than we can. And we can actually start to fire on the... No, you know what? You're right. Let's actually start by firing on the rear ship there. I do want to use armored piercing shells here. But yeah, so we've got more broadside than they have. But they can fire more frequently, because these dual gun turrets are just going to fire more rapidly than ours. Then our quadruple ones, they're going to have more accuracy. And look at this, it's just like pointing guns into all directions here. So weird. I do wonder why you're not aiming in the right direction. You should be able to aim into the right direction. Okay, a couple of shells here, falling close to us. Now, the distance that we are fighting off here is still humongously large, 25 kilometers. At that point, plunging fire here is very likely. So we should try to open up to increase the angle and allow more of our guns to come into action. But I'm very concerned because I want to come in very aggressively here. We actually need to. Oh, that's the battle cruiser. Can gleam at you too. So, you know what? You know what? I actually thought that I built a ridiculous design, but look at this. Just look at how high that. Why though? Just why? And what is that actually? So these are all 9-inch guns. That's interesting actually. Got a lot of them too. What's your broadside here? 18 9-inch guns. I can respect that. Well, there are a couple of hits here on us, not the end of the world though, but you can see that they are managing to penetrate our attack. And of course they are. We've pretty much sacrificed that armor for all of the things. You can see just the angle at which these shells are coming in now. We need to close in the distance, so that it's going to be a more horizontal, less mortar-like trajectory. But yeah. We're also seeing the first smaller ships here now. They are currently emitting smoke, so I do not actually want to target him now. The hit chance here would be very low, 0.7%. So that's not a great hit chance, but we will need to keep a very, very close eye on him. Because if we're killing these ships and they are coming for us, these torpedoes, we are probably not going to be able to do anything about them. Notice, by the way, how little damage we are doing here against each other here. Even with our super heavy shells, 15-inch guns just aren't the greatest. They are Mark IV though, so they should be pretty okay. But yeah, we'll see. Right, what's the distance? We've closed by 5 kilometers or 4. So that at least is nice. I do want you to stop emitting smoke. Okay, there we go. He's stopping to emit smoke. He is the light cruiser. And I'm guessing that he has torpedoes, yes? Does he have torpedoes? This is the one thing that you can't tell on the side here, but you can tell on some of these circles. 2-inch, 3-inch, that's the torpedo range, 10 kilometers. Okay, so you do have torpedoes. You know what? Let's actually engage you. No, let's actually engage you. And the reason for that is there's a destroyer here, and it's incredibly close, so you've got... That's annoying when they have a 5 torpedo tube launcher and a 3 torpedo tube launcher. The annoying thing is they're going to reload at different times, and that means we're going to have a harder time avoiding his salvos in their entirety. Now the reason I'm targeting this guy instead of that guy, even though we are more likely to hit him, is even a near miss on him might actually land in the battleship, and that is always kind of funny. Okay, chance is going to decrease here now, but they're going to come close together. So at that point, nice, 15-inch shell impacting this destroyer here. These destroyers are going to be hugely dangerous for us, so it's very nice to... You've got enormous torpedo range. That means you've large torpedoes and you very likely have oxygen-based torpedoes. Because compare that to the destroyer here, which only has a range of 10 kilometers. I'm believing that the 10 kilometers here, that's probably going to be a fast torpedo, whereas this one is going to be oxygen-based. And that is an issue. Now, I'm not sure he's going to flop from that entirely, and I'm not sure whether he has launched already. We are very, very bad at identifying him. Only 15%, so we don't know yet whether he has launched or not. Certainly his launches are pointing our direction, so that might indicate that indeed this could be something that they have just done. Nice, there's another flooding hit, so that should hopefully do it for him. Let's actually shift far to the battlecruiser here, and I'm going to make a strong move here to this side. Now I'm hoping that this guy hasn't launched, but I'm thinking he might have. By the way, notice that the battlecruiser has withdrawn a little bit over there, and it's very close to some of these destroyers too. That is what I like to see. What I dislike is that I have no idea about their torpedoes. And oxygen based means they are also very difficult to spot because they don't leave that much of a wake, because basically they can only burn the oxygen and they don't need to... I think they're oxygen hydrogen based, so they're just emitting water instead of all of the inert gases that you would have with some of the other torpedoes. Nice. Good hit there. I don't actually know... Yeah, he was sinking due to heavy flooding. The one thing that I really don't know for sure is how we could try to achieve the burning of another ship. So when does it sink due to fire instead of structural integrity or anything else? You know what? If you can, do send torpedoes towards the light cruiser, which we're labeling as a heavy cruiser here, because I think it's so similar to these battleships that it might actually hit them. Yeah, there we go. Okay, some torpedoes off in the water. That's nice. Good. Now let's go on a somewhat perpendicular course. I'm hopeful that we will at this point have evaded the enemy torpedoes, which will be nice. But I don't know. We're down by 3 percentage points. Sunk one ship. That's not the best. Oh, that's nice. Oh, come on. That should do it for him, right? His structural integrity is so low. No, he's going down. Right, let's go for that other ship there. Nice. Okay, we've sunk the smaller ship. I'm very concerned about the battleships, obviously. But I'm also concerned about these destroyers here. Because we have very little in terms of anti-torpedo defenses. Let's actually turn in towards them. That might be a little bit easier to avoid than any other ship. Right, hit chances here are extremely low, but we've got so many guns. I mean, we've got 40 guns on a broadside, so that might actually mean that we are likely to score a hit here in all of our broadsides. Point is, of course, we're not ever sending out a full broadside against this guy. We're probably gonna... I mean, at this moment we are nice. Oh, that's so nice, actually. I did not expect that. Let's actually shift fire here for a moment. His engines are being damaged here, and he's flooding even more. Yeah, that's super great. I still don't know whether any of these guys has launched, especially the ones that has already gone down, but... I don't know much about them. At least the battleships don't carry anything. Yes! Yes! Look at that! We've sunk that guy due to heavy fire. I don't know why, but sometimes that's just the case, and that's lovely. Okay, great. Right, I'm super pumped by that. Okay, so we've got an 8% hit chance on you. You know what? Let's go for this Soho. We can and should potentially turn back to armor piercing. And I'm gonna turn aggressively in here because there just might be any torpedoes in the water and I really want to avoid them. So let's try to do that. By the way, how fast are you guys? 21 knots, you've got maximum bulkheads, that's unfortunate. Lots of deck armor, not so much belt armor though, so that's encouraging. Anti-torpedo 5, or about 3 crop armor. Yeah, you're pretty good at your armor scheme. Not that much else. Specifically, I like your gun caliber. That could have been much worse. I mean, if you had like 20-inch guns, which they should have available, right? So that would have been nasty. By the way, here are our 3 torpedoes. They have spotted them, so they should be starting to turn away now. Which is going to be nice, because it's going to expose them to less of our guns. On the other hand, it means we can't close in with them that aggressively. So maybe that was a mistake. Maybe not. We'll see. Sometimes they're also just too stupid to turn away properly. But in this case, looks like they're going to be alright. It does disrupt their formation, so I'm happy about that. We'll just need to come closer so that we're avoiding the plunging fire that we're still exposed to here. And now we're actually exposed to that from their secondaries as well. Which are starting all the fires on our deck. So we're down 8 percentage points. They probably aren't. But then again, we haven't really focused on them yet. And I'm hoping that at a shorter range, that's going to be more of a thing. Right, you know what? Let's actually try to send some torpedoes your way. I think that would be a very good idea. I'm trying to do that. I'm not sure whether the angle is going to work out in our favor here, but if we can, that should be okay. We can also try to target you. No, it doesn't work either. So let's go for the Asho. Oh my god, we're melting in terms of our structural integrity here. What's going on? Deck armor, deck armor, deck armor, yeah. Belt extended though. That's not encouraging. What's your penetration actually like? So first of all, what's our armor like? So we've got our belt extended, that's 18.5 times 2.2. So 18.5 times 2.2. So that's like 41 inches or so equivalent due to our crop armor. They should not be able to pen that even down to like 2,000 meters. That's nice. Nevertheless, they are doing partial penetrations, and that is still kind of eating us alive. But we are firing up this Soho. I'm wondering whether we should shift fire. I think we should, because then more of our turrets will be able to engage. And that is going to be a nice thing. You know what? The secondaries can actually fire on the Bakamiyaja, which actually has torpedoes. We need to be aware of that too. Though it looks like underwater tubes. Battleships don't have that. Right. Okay, null salvo there. That was a hit. Not a critical one, but a hit. We're down to 9 kilometers. I think at this point we probably want to open up the range a little bit. Yeah, we're down to 86% though. So that's not great. We're not able to pen her either, so she's got what? She's got a lot less armor, so maybe we should still try to come in like that. Oh, shite. There are further torpedoes in the water. What are we going to do there? Right, so let's actually check that. So we've got, her torpedoes are going 62 knots. That's fast torpedoes, isn't it? Yeah. We're currently going 32. Can we go a hard right? Pff, no, we can't at all. Right, let's throw in reserve. I think that's the best chance that we've got here to potentially at least avoid them. I'm actually going to switch fire here to the battle cruiser because that is too dangerous. We're going to go right in here, aren't we? Looks like it. Whew! We just avoided these guys. That's lovely. Right, where are we standing here? At 81%. Right, let's go this direction here. Hard left turn. Do restart your engines, please. Basically, we've completely shut that down, by the way. So that's not great. He's also, by the way, reloaded. So we can go to a high explosive. See, I think against you. Let's go for auto. We should be fairly likely to hit him, but yeah, we need to get back up to speed. And if he sends out torpedoes our way now, we're going to be sitting ducks. And that's why I think it's critical that we target him. We're down to 80%. Oh no, these are our torpedoes, that's nice. Yeah. Okay, some flooding hit here, that's good. We're up to 4.4 knots. That's too slow. Even though we have 100% engine efficiency, so it's not great. Well, they are turning away due to these torpedoes, which at least is lovely. But we do need to take out the battlecruiser. This is taking too long. This is taking too long, and we are dropping in our thing here, and we haven't really dealt with the battlecruisers, with the battleships at all. Yeah, we are being hit here hard. Very hard, actually. Gonna keep my eyes on the battlecruiser though, because he is gonna be the dangerous thing. And we do need to take him out. 78%. We haven't been suffering any torpedo hits. Come on. How many shells do we have in the air here? They're not doing a thing. It doesn't have overwater torpedo tubes, does he? Can't tell. I don't think he has. No, not as far as I can tell. He's very close, 8 kilometers. At this distance, he can launch way into us. I'm curious why we're not hitting him better than that, though. We're sending torpedoes his way. Is that going to be enough? Flooding. It's going to launch any time now. I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do about that. Probably need to hit the brake again. Yeah, there we go. He has. Let's try to brake again. I think it's the only thing that we can do. This is really awkward because we are sitting duck here. Right, there they are. I think we are safe. We're slow enough. That at least is true. 75%. And we are struggling to do enough damage against his ship. Okay, let's restart now. At least we are doing some damage here now. That's good. And more torpedoes coming his way. What I like is that they are specifically also impacting the, or also being detrimental against that battleship, which is nice. Have they passed us? I think they have. Can't see them at least. We're up to 5 knots now. Oh, there we go. That's a torpedo hit. That's good. Complete coincidence, of course, but still nice. It's gonna be more of a harassment thing, but still. What I really dislike is that he's got so many of these torpedoes. We do need to take ours off though, I think. At least I want to only launch them when they are going in the same direction as the battleship. He's extremely 44 knots. What on earth? I was saying he's incredibly fast for having 3 engines down, but his base speed is 44 knots, so that's really understandable actually. I think Stealth did a video of the fastest ship he could build. That was 60 knots, and this one is a battlecruiser with like enormous, well, firepower and torpedoes and all of that, so that is peculiar. Come on. do give me hits here. We're going to do that again and again, aren't we? Nice hits. Bit of flooding. Not even enough to slow him down to any depreciation, to any appreciation that I can see. Right, fire. Just watch their torpedoes. It would be really nice to take them out. Then he would not be much of a threat. He's down so much, and he's still going that fast. How fast exactly is he going? This just doesn't... Oh, flash fire. There we go. He's lost a turret. He's down to 7% structural integrity. That is very lovely. He still has torpedoes. We're down to 69. Oh, Jesus. 2%, come on. Kill him. Kill him. Nice, okay. He did not get off any further torpedoes. That is good, my friends. Right, we can now focus on the other ships. That is for sure what we're going to do here. Finally, we can take on the battleships. And if we can finish them off, nice, there we go. That's what I like to see. So if we can finish them off without, by not dropping to below 50% here, we're actually going to get 5 points. So, wouldn't that be nice? I think it would. Right, okay, he's heavily damaged. Lots of structural issues, lots of engine issues. He's a good target for a torpedo, isn't he, don't you think? Right, let's actually shift fire then. And shift torpedo fire on you. And I'm actually going to go with an aggressive launch here. Because without steering and without engine, he is going to be in trouble. Right, and finally our superior armament comes into play. We had 67%. I'm feeling good, my guys. This is looking very fantastic. And we got a ship that's incredibly fast. We got a ship with an enormous amount of guns. They don't have any torpedoes. We've got a ship that is going to win this battle. We've got a ship that is going to win this battle here by surviving with more than 50%, I believe at least. Ah, Jesus, they're all missing. Okay, you know what? Let's shift back to you because you're better in range and you're nicer broadside here. Oh, also, look at that. He's expended most of his ammo, so that's lovely. I think the ammo detonation might have done something for us there too. Right, and we've actually sunk one of the destroyers by causing damage. Technically, at least. He was hit by a lot of shells, and I think he lost a lot of structural integrity there. But they said he was sunk by extensive fires. And that, I think, is a great thing for us. Here we go. That should do it for her. And we were clearly above 60%. So that's 5 points for us. 7 points in total for this series. And we're going to see how the other guys did. Do check out the videos. The description is... a link to their description. A link to their videos is down in the description below, guys. I'm very happy. I'm very excited. And we're going to see how that turns out. Bye-bye, guys. Hope you enjoyed.